I had always been afraid of spiders. That wasn't really a big issue until one day when I was about 23 years old. I was a new nurse. I was on my way to work at the hospital that I was employed at, and I saw a spider hanging in the window. So I tried to shoo it out because I was very afraid, and I managed to rear end the back end of a parked car and injured myself because I wasn't wearing my seatbelt at the time. My head hit the steering wheel, my face hit the steering wheel. So now I have done a dumb thing. I have hit a parked car for a stupid reason over a phobia, and I'm now bleeding on my little white nurse's uniform. And I'm going to be transported by ambulance to the hospital that I work at. So I'm hurt and I'm humiliated, and I just can't even get over this is happening. So I go to the ER, and I of course have to tell them what happened, that I wasn't a crazy person that just drove into the back end of a parked car. I'm very embarrassed. And the attending at the time, he asks everybody to leave, and he pulls up a stool next to me. And I'm not looking at him because I know the man. And he says to me, "I'm afraid of frogs." I'm thinking, yeah, right. And he said, no, he says, "I am deathly afraid of frogs. And if there is a frog, even if I hear a frog, I have to leave the area immediately." He was bonfires with my friends. He says, "I can't even be there." So this was the first time that I made eye contact with him. And I knew it wasn't a joke, and I knew that he was telling me the truth. And in that moment, it became very clear to me that the only difference between this man and myself is that I was on the stretcher and he was not. I was so impressed that the doctor took that moment to make himself more human to me. I think as caregivers, we've been educated to maintain professional distance. That doesn't negate the fact that if I can share a small piece of who I am as a person, Michelle the person, not just Michelle the nurse, that's going to go a long way. I'm not saying it's necessarily the first interaction that you're going to have with them, and I'm not saying it needs to be your deepest, darkest secret. It makes a difference long after they leave us. It makes a difference for me 25 years later. I'm still talking about that one moment in time that changed how I practice forever.